How we doing, everybody? Here, just getting into mid-April. Hope everyone is doing all right, or the best you can, with all this different turmoil, trying to make us upside down and backwards, put the foot on the other shoe. I think we can handle it, though. Let's ride the rail, keep our hands on the wheel. Here's what we got this weekend. Okay. You got to prepare for freedom. Choreograph first, then dance. Conservative early, liberal late. Now let me tell you how I learned this. It was 1995. It had been about a year since I finished the film Boys on the Side. I hadn't gotten a job since. I had a lot of auditions, but I never could land the gig. I was feeling tight. I was too conservative in the auditions. I was afraid to take risks. I felt like I'd lost my instincts for acting. And that's when I got offered this movie, Scorpion Spring. It was a straight offer, no audition, just one scene shooting in 2 weeks. I said, yes. Happy to be finally going back to work. I got the script, and that's when I got a bright idea. I said, Matthew, guess what? I'm not going to read a page of this script, not a word, not even the scene that I'm in. Why? Because you, Matthew, you need to get back to your acting instincts. Go back and do it like you did with Wooderson and Dazed Confused, back when I knew my man, what I loved and what I wanted more of. I mean, who needed lines? Who needed lines written for you? I just be my man and say and do what he'd say and do. Now, my role in Scorpion Spring was of a guy smuggling drugs on the Texas-Mexico border. The scenario was the coyotes bring my drugs, and just before I pay them, I shoot them, kill them, take my drugs back, and get away. That's all I needed to know, I thought. I said to myself, look, just be that guy. Be your man. Handle the situation like he would. Easy. Who needs a script? So here we are 2 weeks later. I'm on the set about to shoot my one scene, of which I haven't read a thing about. I know my man, though, and that's all I need to know, right? So I'm standing on my mark, moments before cameras are about to roll, and I start to get a little nervous. And I decide in that moment that maybe it'd be a good idea just before the director says action, and maybe it'd be a good idea to just have a quick peek at the scene, a little quick peek at my dialogue. My thinking being at the time, and if it's written well, I'll immediately remember the written words and lines because obviously that's what my man would say and do. And if it's not written well, then I'll just be my man and do and say what he would say and do like I originally planned. I unfold the sides and I have a look. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Oh shit. It was a 4-page monologue by my character. In Spanish. Yes. Oh shite, man. A little sweat drip starts going down the back of my neck. And that is when out of my mouth, I just say, can I have 12 minutes? Now, my half thinking was that 12 minutes would be, 1, not enough time to inconvenience the crew, and 2, enough time to memorize a 4-page monologue in Spanish. Because, hey, I took one semester of Spanish class in the 11th grade. So I took a little walk, a 12-minute walk to be exact. Then I returned to set, stepped on my mark. The director called action, and we shot the scene. Now, I've never watched that movie because I am too embarrassed to. That was the longest working day of my life. I remember when I left the set at the end of that day, and on the drive home, I pulled over on the side of the road and I just started bawling and beating the shit out of my steering wheel. And I remember that day I promised myself, I said, man, McConaughey, don't ever put yourself in that position again. And from that day on, preparation has definitely been one of my greatest strengths for movies or any kind of work I do, and in my personal life as well. We must learn the consequences of negligence. It's not just what we do, It's what we don't do that's important as well. Yes, we are guilty by omission. Choreograph early, then dance. You got to make plans to be present, man. You got to read the script before you improvise. Maybe find out what language it's in would be helpful. Choreograph first, then dance. Create our own weather, then blow in the wind. Learn to block and tackle before you learn to play wideout. Learn the dialogue before you start improvising. Study the playbook before you call the audible. Look at the blueprint before you take out the sledgehammer and take out the beams. Learn the rules before you break them. Most of the world's most valuable ideas, art, and inventions came about from breaking the unbreakable rules. But they knew the rules first. Like that one. Chew on that. Talk to you next week. Just keep living.